Good evening and welcome to the Academy Theatre Radio Hour. I'm Corbett Burek, your host and the director of The Pandemic Productions, a series of exciting radio shows brought to you by the Advanced Drama Class of 2020, a group of actors who wouldn't let a pandemic stop them from making good drama. From the thrill-packed pages of Agatha Christie's unforgettable stories of clues and crimes, Academy Theatre Radio Hour now brings you, complete with trench coat and heels, your favorite detective, Colette Poirot, daughter of the famous detective Hercule Poirot, in The Case of the Careless Client. Before meeting Colette Poirot in her first American adventure, it seems only fitting for the millions of faithful readers who have followed the little Belgian detective's career in book form to meet the famous lady who created this famous character. So it is our privilege to present a message from Agatha Christie herself from London, England. The next voice you hear will be Miss Agatha Christie's. Go ahead, London.
And she might even have made it seem something of an international event. However, as she's heavily engaged on an investigation, about which you will hear in due course, I must, as one of her oldest friends, deputize for her. The great woman has her little foibles, but really, I have the greatest affection for her, and it is a source of continuing satisfaction to me that there has been such a generous response to her appearance on my books. And I hope that her new career on the radio will make many new friends for her among a wider public.
Thank you, Miss Agatha Christie. And now the Academy Theatre Radio Hour presents Colette Poirot in her first American adventure, The Case of the Careless Client.
Mademoiselle?
Huh?
This is the cozy room apartment renting agency, no?
When we got something to rent, yeah.
I have the desire to rent an apartment.
Who hasn't?
Please, mademoiselle, do not jest. Allons, I have with me a brief dossier of my requirements. Please read it.
Well, all right. Lady desires a bright sunshine apartment of a reasonable quietness near the heart of the city. Should be furnished with the utmost charm, French provincial if possible. Price is of no consequence as long as it is very reasonable. Please communicate with me at the Hotel Windsor. Colette, P-O-I-R-O-T. Poirot.
No, mademoiselle. The name is Poirot. Colette Poirot.
Well, I wish you luck, Miss Poirot.
Finding an apartment, mademoiselle, is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of employing the little grey cells. If you can find an apartment for me, please do me the kindness to inform me.
Sure, if you'll do something for me.
And what is that?
If you can find me an apartment, please do me the kindness to inform me.
Going up. Floor, please.
Number 5. You are new here, no?
Yes, ma'am. Only came on yesterday. You're Miss Poirot, aren't you?
No, oh no. Poirot.
Well, Poirot, one of the boys pointed you out. Here you are, ma'am, 5th floor.
Oh, 1,000 apologies, madame.
Oh, not at all. It was entirely my fault.
Madame appears troubled. Perhaps I may be of some slight assistance?
Oh, no. Well, if you're sure you don't mind.
Oh, but of course not.
You see, it's my door. It won't open.
Ah, and where is this obstinate door, eh?
Well, it's just right down the corridor, room 515.
If I may have the key?
But that's just it. The door isn't locked. I left it open only 10 minutes ago.
Oh, indeed. Madame is very trusting, eh?
Here it is. You see, it's stuck. It won't budge.
It is not precisely stuck, madame. It gives a trifle, but this door is barricaded.
Oh my goodness.
Voila! She moves, eh?
Oh, thanks a million. Now, what do you suppose?
No, wait, madame. Perhaps it is better if I look first. Alas, it is as I feared.
Oh, well, what is it?
You do not know, huh? Well, look.
Oh, it's a man. Is he?
Ah, oui, madame. He has been strangled. And this is a murder. Zootaloo! I must compliment you, madame. Your color. It is excellent. And you did not even commence to faint.
Well, I don't fall apart in a crisis, if that's what you mean. And furthermore, I'm not Madame. I'm Mademoiselle. By choice, Miss Abigail Fletcher. And now, if you'll get that a corpse out of here, I'd like to sit down.
That I regret I cannot do, mademoiselle. The body must not be touched before the police arrive.
Police?
Well, yes, of course, the police. I'm calling them now. Hello? Hello? Ah, Inspector Stevens. It is I, Colette Poirot, daughter of the famous Hercule Poirot. Alas, no. I have not yet found the apartment, but I have found something of perhaps more interest. A corpse. Right here in my hotel. Room number...
515.
Number 515. Mademoiselle, what are you doing with the body?
Oh, nothing. I was just trying to see his face.
You will have that opportunity later. Pardon, Inspector. We are room 515. Bien. We shall expect you immediately. Bien, Miss Fletcher. Now that you have observed the face of this unfortunate one, perhaps you will be good enough to tell me who he is?
I certainly will not. Who do you think you are?
Ah, mademoiselle, permit me to present myself. I am Colette Poirot, formerly chief of the Belgian Sûreté.
Yeah, well, that's what you say. Now look here, Miss Poirot, I've read plenty of detective stories, and none of them had a detective that looked anything like you. I'll wait for the police and let them ask the questions.
As you desire, mademoiselle. I merely wish to point out one thing. It is you the police will question first.
Me?
But of course, you are the most likely suspect, no?
Oh, well, all right. What do you want to know?
Well, first, what are you doing here, in this hotel?
Why, I've lived here for 10 solid years, ever since I left Waskasigo, Maine.
And what do you do? What is your occupation?
Why, I don't have any occupation. I've got a little income, and I like it here in New York. In the last few years, I've been doing war work, Red Cross, and things like that.
You seem a trifle vague, mademoiselle. Well, now, what about this man? Who is he?
I don't know. I never saw him before in my life.
Mademoiselle, I advise you to consider your answers with care. Do not forget that a man lies dead in this room.
And I can't help that. I don't know who he is or how he got here. I told you I was out of the room for 10 minutes.
Well, that may be, Miss Fletcher, but it does not help you. This man has been dead for at least 1 hour.
And how do you know?
If you will touch the body, you will observe it is already beginning to cool. Therefore, mademoiselle, if you left this room only 10 minutes ago, your situation is indeed grave, for this man was already dead.
Oh, but I couldn't have done it.
Is that so? And why not?
Well, because his body was lying right across the doorway. You know perfectly well I couldn't get out this doorway and still leave a body wedged against it. Belgian surety, indeed.
Very good, mademoiselle. But you could have murdered him in here, made your departure by way of this fire escape, through the room overhead, and come down inside the building to this corridor where you so innocently made my acquaintance. You see, there is evidence that the fire escape has but recently been used. Now it is not so amusing, eh?
Well, I don't care. I had nothing to do with this. I know you detectives. You're out to get a suspect, and just because a man was murdered in my room.
Gently, gently, mademoiselle. All is not lost. Fortunately, you deal with Colette Poirot, who goes one step beyond the obvious. You see, this poor man was not murdered in your room. He was killed in the room overhead.
But why? Why kill him upstairs and leave him at my doorstep?
That, mademoiselle, we shall discover in due course.
All right, Miss Poirot. Now that you've got the corpse safely locked in my room and us outside, what am I supposed to do? Sleep on the fire escape?
Oh, I do not think that will be necessary, mademoiselle. You are coming with me to the lobby, where we shall wait for my friend, Inspector Stevens. He will see that you are comfortably sheltered for the night.
Oh, tell me, Miss Poirot, how'd you figure out that the murder took place upstairs?
Is it not apparent, Miss Fletcher? Well, please squeeze the bell for the elevator. I look out of your window and observe the fire escapes. And what do I find? Everywhere the dust reposes, peacefully.
Well, naturally. The help is too busy to polish fire escapes.
Mademoiselle, but on one stairway, the one leading up from your window, all is disarranged. There is a broad, clear path through the dust, and it is precisely the width of a human body. And since the path extends only to the floor above, it is obvious that the body has been dragged down from the room 615. Also, on the garments of the dead man, the trousers, the left elbow, and across the shoulders, there are unmistakable traces of rust. Voila, the elevator.
Going down?
Monsieur, would you be so kind as to explain why you were so long in arriving?
It's this old car. Every once in a while it goes on the fritz.
What is this on the fritz?
Out of order.
Yeah, I got stuck on the 9th.
You were on the 9th floor all this time.
Yeah, that's right.
That is difficult to believe.
Why?
Well, the indicator has been pointing to the basement.
That indicator. Soon as anything goes wrong, it flops.
I am not so sure that is true of the indicator. But unquestionably, monsieur, it is true of the too clever murder. As soon as anything goes wrong, it flops. Bien, Inspector Stevens. There's the situation. An unknown person strangled to death in one room and dragged down the fire escape to another.
Miss Poirot, if this body is the person I think it is, Commissioner will have my head.
Mon ami, forgive me, but you seem agitated.
And we'll warn too. I'll assign my best man to guard her. The smartest cop of my force, Sam Treble. Good Lord, Miss Poirot, there'll be an international scandal.
Gently, mon ami, you go too fast. Even for Colette Poirot. Who is this magnificent figure of international importance?
Parrish? Katherine Parrish.
Parrish? Ah, oui. The name rings a bell. She is the big currency expert, eh?
That's right. She's on her way to Europe to set up a new paper currency for the liberated countries. Checked out at the Windsor today. Was supposed to pick up some papers, dyes, and inks, and then hop on a plane tonight.
Ah, 5th floor, please. An enormous undertaking, and one of great importance.
I was responsible for her safety. She's supposed to be an eccentric sort of woman. No photographs, no publicity. Treble was the only man on the force who knew her at all, and Treble failed. You see what this means, Miss Poirot?
I see only this, my friend. We've arrived at the first step in our solution of this distressing murder. For now, we have the motive. This way, Inspector. This is the room. Mademoiselle Fletcher, your key.
Here you are.
I'll never live this down.
You exaggerate, mon ami. Even the best of men sometimes fail. Regard, Inspector. Here's your corpse.
They certainly did a job. Thunderation!
You are shocked, monsieur?
Poirot, do you realize what happened?
But of course, Inspector. This is a man. It is not Katherine Parrish who has been murdered, but your own faithful policeman, Sam Trumbull.
Miss Poirot, that's not very funny. You knew it all the time.
Pardon, mon ami. I know nothing of the sort.
But you distinctly told me.
No, Inspector. You told me. To me, the dead man was an unknown corpse. It could be anyone. But when you speak of two people, one wealthy financier of international importance, and the other a police officer, by employing the little grey cells, it is not difficult to conclude that the corpse with the large eye, comfortable shoes, and the plain suit is the policeman.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry.
Monsieur, there's no time now for profuse apologies.
You're right. We've got to get to Katherine Parrish at once. The poor woman doesn't even know her bodyguard's gone. Hello. Operator, what room is Katherine Parrish in? Huh? 615. Hold on. Miss Poirot, that's the room directly over this one, where Treble was killed.
Precisely.
Operator, let me talk to Miss Parrish.
I think you will find that the lady does not answer.
Why not?
Obviously, she would not witness a murder without reporting it. On the other hand, she too may...
Good Lord, Miss Poirot, do you think she's dead too? We know she received warning from Hilary Kent.
I do not follow you, mon ami.
Huh? Oh, I don't blame you. Hilary Kent is a criminal egomaniac.
One who commits crime chiefly for the pleasure of baffling the police, eh?
Exactly. Well, this Hilary Kent, or someone who calls herself Hilary Kent, is one of those people. She pulled off a few clever jobs and got away with them. We don't know anything about her, but whoever she is, she's got to get her thrill out of every job. So, she makes it a rule to warn her victims.
I well know the type. And Mrs. Parrish, I take it, has received such a warning.
Right. Now you see why I signed my best man?
Bien. But now we must hasten upstairs to Mrs. Parrish's room. Already, it may be too late.
Oh, I'll go too. I don't want to stay here with his body.
You'll stay right here, Miss Fletcher, till I give you permission.
Inspector, if you do not mind. Myself, I am not averse to Miss Fletcher as a company. I find her very intriguing.
Oh, no answer.
But naturally, you did not expect the murderer to sit down and wait for us. You will have to employ the passkey.
Remember, Miss Fletcher, you're not to touch anything.
Oh, it's perfectly all right. I'm wearing gloves.
The inspector is thinking of fingerprints? Why, I do not think he will find any. Hilary Kent, whoever the killer may be, is too clever to leave any such traces.
Well, maybe. But I want to be sure we don't lose even the tiniest clue.
Oh, it is an excellent approach, mon ami. There are many interesting things that we may find here about Miss Katherine Parrish.
Well, she certainly gets around a lot.
Oui, the labels on her luggage, they are from the four corners of the earth.
Miss Fletcher, I say not to touch anything.
Oh, for goodness sake, it's only a book.
Books may be of great significance. Ah, oui, this one, for example. It is no ordinary book. It is a stamp album of great value. Some of these stamps are almost without price. Very interesting. This Guatemala blue.
Don't move. I said don't move.
Have no fear, madame. I will not dispute the authority of your gun.
And now a word from our pandemic production sponsors.
Feeling stuck at home? Tired of the quarantine? Wish you could reconnect with a companion?
Mom, I'm bored.
Why don't you just hang out with your friends?
Mom, you know we can't do that. There's a global pandemic happening throughout our world today, and we need to do our part.
If only there was a way that you could make your own friends at home.
Is this your exact situation right now? Well, lucky for you moms out there. Now you can make as many friends as your heart desires with DIY Friend. Simply take the one-of-a-kind DIY Friend marker and turn ordinary household objects into your new best pal.
Thanks, DIY friend. Now I have so many kitchen utensils to talk to.
Thanks to DIY Friend, my daughter is now best friends with our toaster.
Just call this number and we will send you a personalized DIY Friend starter kit for only $59.99. Coming soon, DIY Formal Gathering Edition.
You are listening to the Academy Theatre Radio Hour, and now back to our mystery, Agatha Christie's The Case of the Careless Client.
Ma'am, you can't get away with this. Put your gun down and talk fast. Who the devil are you?
But obviously, Inspector, this is the woman we seek, Miss Katherine Parrish.
That's just who I am. All right, speak up. Which one of you is Hilary Kent?
Hilary Kent?
Yes.
Now wait just a minute, Miss Parrish. You've got this all wrong. I'm Inspector Stevens, Homicide Squad. And this is Colette Poirot, daughter of the famous Belgian detective.
So you say. You don't look like policemen to me, particularly you in the trench coat and heels. You stay right where you are till I check on you.
Bien, Mrs. Parrish. Now that you are satisfied as to our identity...
Well, I've heard of you, of course. You're supposed to be the greatest French detective in the world.
Oh, always people say that about me, madame. But it is not entirely true. No, I am not French. I'm Belgian.
Well, I wish you'd all get out of here and leave me alone. I'm expecting my daughter, and I don't want her running into a room full of policemen.
But, madame, you are in great danger. You must be protected every moment.
You offering me police protection? Not worth a hoot.
I beg your...
That's just what I said. Not worth a hoot. I have protection. Some detective they assigned to me. Where is he?
He's dead.
What?
He was murdered in this very room while protecting you.
Therefore, if you do not object too violently, I shall undertake to protect you until you step aboard your airplane.
All right, stay. I don't know how much longer it will be. I'm just waiting for one little parcel to be delivered. Then I'm off.
Ah, Madame is taking with her much equipment.
Yes, quite a load. I've already sent most of it off to the airport.
Ah, bon, that is good.
Miss, don't eat that chocolate. It may be poisoned.
Oh, nonsense. This candy isn't poison.
I wouldn't be too sure. That box of candy supposedly came from my daughter Laura. It was delivered a little while ago.
But you suspect she did not send it.
Well, she's supposed to come here in person. Should be here now, in fact. So why should she send it?
You are very shrewd, mon ami.
Hi. Oh, excuse me.
Wait a minute. Johnny, come back here. What do you want?
Nothing. I just wanted to see if Mrs. Parrish got her extra laundry box okay.
Yes, I received it.
Okay. Excuse me.
I picked up a few more things to take along. Special dyes and inks. They'll just about fill up that laundry box. Excuse me, I've got to go in the bedroom and finish packing.
Crusty old bird, isn't she?
Well, how would you be if you knew someone was out to kill you? No wonder she's jittery.
She's irritable and nervous. That perhaps explains it.
Explains what?
Why she wears upon her feet that unique pair of socks, one of which is green and the other brown.
All right. If the woman wants to be eccentric, let her be. I've still got a murderer to catch. You want to come along?
No, Inspector. I have attached myself to Mrs. Parrish, and I propose to see that...
Come in.
Inspector, one of the men found this on the sidewalk outside the hotel. Thought you might want to take a look at it before turning it into lost and found.
Okay, Brady, thanks. A lady's purse. Usual assortments of stuff. Cosmetics, perfume, change, keys. Do you make anything of it, Miss Poirot?
Sacre bleu!
Oh, what is it?
These initials. LP, Miss Parrish.
Yes?
What did you say was the name of your charming daughter?
Laura.
Good Lord. LP, Laura Parrish.
Miss Poirot, where are you going?
I have a little idea. Mademoiselle Fletcher, you are pleased to accompany me.
How about Katherine Parrish? You were so attached to her.
I have become momentarily detached. I leave her in your care, Inspector. Protect her with the apple of your eye. Come, it will not be the first time you have left the elevator unattended, Monsieur Johnny. Come along.
Miss Poirot, you're wasting your time in this basement, believe me.
Nevertheless, it interests me. Please light the way.
There's nothing here. Just a lot of ash cans.
One moment. What is behind this door?
Well, that's the laundry bin. They keep all the soiled linen in there. You won't find anything in there.
We shall take one brief glance, eh?
There, you see? Nothing but a pile of dirty sheets and pillowcases.
Good gracious. I mean, what a laundry bill they must have.
Bien. Let us proceed to... Wait one moment.
Oh, what is it?
Sacre bleu! Protruding from under these sheets.
Holy cow!
A foot! A small foot! This is what I feared.
Look!
It moves! Then we are not too late. Quickly, monsieur, help me to uncover her.
That's all I know, Miss Poirot. I was walking along the street toward the hotel. Just as I passed the alley, I was pulled in. I tried to scream, but something was pressed against my mouth.
Chloroform, Laura. Had you seen your assailant, you would have seen Hilary Kent. Alas, Lord Parrish, you are most fortunate. Another few minutes under those linens and who knows? Ah, voila! This is the room of your mother. Inspector Stevens, here is Lord Parrish.
Oh, well, that's a relief. Come in. I was afraid, Miss Poirot, you'd turn up with a body. How'd you manage to find her?
That is not important now. We have found her. But we seem to have lost the mother?
Oh, yes. Laura, I'm sorry. Your mother's terribly upset about you, but her material was delivered, and she had to rush off to the airport.
Oh, no. Don't tell me I missed her after all this.
Ah, ma pauvre petite. We have neglected you, eh? Miss Fletcher, your room is now free of corpses. Please take Mademoiselle Parrish down and extend to her the first aid.
Come along, Laura.
Thank you.
Inspector, I hope you do not later have cause to regret that you permitted Mrs. Parrish to go off to the airport unprotected.
She'll be all right. Besides, I've got a job to do here. Although, frankly, I'm in a complete fog. I can't make heads or tails of the whole business.
No, Stevens. The head and tail we have.
What?
Yes, it is merely a fragment of the middle that we still lack.
Well, who is it? Hey, Miss Poirot, where are you going?
To see how Laura is, and to telephone the airport to see that Mrs. Parrish receives the proper attention. Au revoir.
Miss Poirot, where are you taking me now? I'd like to have some...
Miss Parrot.
Hello? Someone calls?
It looks like Johnny in that parked car.
Miss Parrot, I got a message for you from Inspector Stevens. He rushed off a minute ago.
From Stevens? What is it? What is the message?
He just got word that Mrs. Parrish has been seriously hurt in an automobile accident on North Salem Road.
Mon Dieu! Oh, this is too much.
You're to get there as fast as you can. Here's the address.
52 North Salem Road. Monsieur, your duties for the day are over?
Yeah.
And this is your vehicle?
Yeah, why?
There's no time to seek a taxi, so I will impose upon your kindness. Miss Fletcher, quickly, please.
Okay. North Salem Road, right?
No, to the airport.
What?
But Miss Parrish isn't at the airport. She's injured on North Salem Road.
No, mademoiselle. That is what I was intended to believe. Do you not think so, Johnny? She is at the airport, I assure you.
How do you know?
Well, North Salem Road is not on the way to the airport. It is in the opposite direction. This is merely a trick to keep us from the flying field. We must hurry there before it is too late.
Well, the airplane is still there, but I don't see anything amiss.
Voila, over there.
Miss Parrish, as large as life.
Yep, that's her all right.
Come along, please. Both of you. Mrs. Parrish.
Miss Poirot, my daughter. Is she...
She is at the hotel, madame, resting. She's had a small misadventure, but she is entirely safe.
Thank heavens.
You are relieved, eh?
Am I? I don't think I'd have gotten on that plane if you hadn't found her. Fortunately, I didn't have to. They've been a little delayed.
Miss Poirot!
Ah, Inspector Stevens. I knew you would not walk into that trap.
Yeah, but as usual, you beat me to it. I was halfway to North Salem Road before I realized what was cooking.
Bien. Here is Mrs. Parrish. Safe and sound, eh? I suggest the paint to be inspected with great care. There may be sabotage.
Good idea.
Also, have all the doors of this building guarded.
Hey, Miss Parrot, do I have to hang around here?
But of course, Johnny, we may require you for our return trip. Oh, Mrs. Parrish, here's your pilot to report.
We're ready now, Mrs. Parrish.
Thank you. Oh, Captain, here comes my luggage. Will you see that I get aboard?
Right, ma'am.
And be especially careful of that wooden crate. Well, goodbye, Inspector. I must admit, you've been extremely helpful, and I'm much obliged.
Not at all. Goodbye and happy landings.
Miss Fletcher,
Goodbye, ma'am.
Miss Poirot, it's been a privilege to know you. I'm only so sorry I couldn't remain to see you break the case.
But you have, madame.
I beg your pardon?
The case. It is broken. Inspector, meet Hilary Kent. The woman who you have just wished bon voyage.
Hilary Kent?
You're mad, Miss Poirot.
Good gracious. I thought she was Mrs. Parrish.
And that wooden crate, which I have waited so long to see, it is not to be moved, Inspector.
Why not?
Because, mon ami, it contains the body of Katherine Parrish. A charming restaurant, n'est pas? The planes circling about give one the feeling of flying, eh?
Ugh, the feeling I've got. If that's what flying gives you, keep me from it.
Ah, that is natural. I too do not like murder, Miss Fletcher. Ah, Inspector Stevens. Everything is taken care of?
Yes. They're taking Hilary Kent away now.
Then perhaps you will join us in a little supper.
No thanks, Miss Poirot. I've got to get back. I, just dropped over to ask a few questions.
And, for example?
Well, when did you first suspect that Hilary Kent was impersonating Katherine Parrish?
Oh, almost from the start. When we entered the room of Mrs. Katherine Parrish, what do we find, eh? An amazing paradox. On one hand, we have a woman who is an ardent stamp collector, whose album is in perfect order. Each stamp, each shade of stamp precisely in its proper place, eh? Except the most valuable one of all, a Guatemala blue, reposing among American 3-cent stamps. Later, when I look at her socks, one green and one brown, I am certain. The woman in the room, she is colorblind.
And therefore, not Miss Katherine Parrish, the stamp collector.
More important than that, she cannot be Katherine Parrish, a currency expert, who is to select the colors and shades of the new paper money, eh? Therefore, if the woman in the room is not Katherine Parrish, who is she?
Well, obviously Hilary Kent.
Then why didn't you arrest her right away?
Because without a body, one cannot prove a murder. And I felt sure that Hilary Kent would lead me to the body.
So you weren't guarding her, you were watching her.
But precisely.
Well, you weren't so smart. When you let her out of your sight, she might have gotten away in the plane.
Oh, not at all. When I called the airport, it was to make sure that the plane would not leave until I gave the word.
Well, you know everything, don't you?
Well, some things are obvious, mademoiselle. We can suppose Hilary Kent discovers the nature of the mission Mrs. Parrish is engaged in. Ah, what a magnificent opportunity for a swindler, eh? Perhaps the greatest in history. To remove Katherine Parrish, fly to Europe as Mrs. Parrish, deliver the papers, the formulas, the dice to the proper authorities, and then, at the moment, just counterfeit the new currency and reap a huge fortune.
Well, jumping codfish. That woman must be mad.
Perhaps, mademoiselle. But Hilary Kent is also a genius, eh? She learns that Katherine Parrish is at the Hotel Windsor, in room 615. She knocks on the door. Mrs. Parrish admits her, and is at once strangled to death, eh? But the body, that must be disposed of, where no one will find it. There is but one thing to do. Take the body to Europe in the very packing case which stands in the room.
Then you just guessed where her body was?
Oh, no, Inspector. There was the proof in the room. You remember the second laundry box which Hilary Kent asked for? This is for some special ink, she says to us, which I have only now purchased. Obviously, this is a lie. On such a mission, one does not purchase supplies at the last minute. Hence I know these inks and dyes have been removed from some other box or crate to make room for the body.
Gracious. It's as plain as the nose on my face. What about Laura Parrish?
Oh, I got that figured out. She calls her up and says to Hilary Kent, "Mother, I'm coming over." Of course, she can't allow that, or the jig's up. So Hilary Kent gets down to the alley and eliminates her. Right, Poirot?
Exactly. And as for poor policeman Sam Tremble, he has been with Katherine Parrish. He knows her. When he knocks on the door and Hilary Kent appears, he demands to see Katherine Parrish. Hilary Kent kills him, and since the packing case is already occupied, drags him down to Miss Fletcher's room.
And that was a big mistake. He should have never started up with me.
Excuse me for a minute. I think the ward wagon's pulling in.
If you do not mind, mademoiselle, may I ask you a question of a personal nature?
Oh, fire away.
Mademoiselle, you are not now engaged in a business enterprise, no?
No.
And are you fluent with the shorthand and the typewriter?
Why, yes.
Bon. Mademoiselle, I find you both intelligent and amusing. A rare combination in women like us. Moreover, I am in great need of a secretary with your superb qualifications.
Wow, Miss Poirot!
Nevertheless, if you are interested...
Oh, Miss Poirot, for 10 years I've been devouring detective stories, and you ask me if I'm interested? Chief, you've got a secretary.
Well, Miss Poirot, they've taken Hilary Kent away now. I guess that winds up the case.
Not quite, Inspector. Tell me, where does Hilary Kent reside?
We found a lease on her for an apartment in Gramercy Park.
That is a good neighborhood, huh?
Oh, well, it's right in the heart of the city. Why do you ask?
Well, I do not think Hilary Kent will need an apartment for some time. But I do. You see, my friends, it is as I have said. To find an apartment in New York City is the essence of simplicity. One only has to solve 2 matters.
Thank you to the cast and crew of Agatha Christie's The Case of the Careless Client. What a suspenseful mystery to remind us that there is always more to the story. Tune in next time for another pandemic production, and from all of us at the Academy Theatre Radio Hour, thank you for listening, and good night.